Okay, so the easiest way to do this is to update a video, to do a video update. Okay, so today is March the 15th, and I have a status update for what's going on. I haven't made updates, I haven't posted anything. One, because my left hand is getting so much weaker and it's hard for me to type. It's hard for me to really do a whole lot with it, so I haven't made any typed updates, and there hasn't been a whole lot to update, so I just haven't been making updates. But now that there's something to update, everything is happening all at once, so I'm going to try to keep it brief so that everybody kind of knows what's going on and what is the next phase of this adventure that I am going on. Okay, so first, I got dates. My Blue Cross Blue Shield denied my transplant. They said we're not paying, but there's a whole appeals process. But the person who handles the appeals is the only person basically handling the appeals, and she's carrying a caseload of like 7,000. So my appeal is still sitting on her desk, waiting to be appealed. Fortunately, I have Medicare, and Medicare will allow me to go forward with the process if I pay $2,500 for the stem cell reinfusion. Um, that's a different thing. So I had to pay $2,500 to just get dates scheduled so that I can go forward with this procedure. So that's kind of expensive. But Medicare also has a $1,600 deductible for Part A that covers my hospital stay. So it's $2,500 plus $1,600. And then the hotel stay for mobilization is around $2,000. So it's adding up really fast. But in terms of my treatment and the next phase, what's happening is I'll be going to Chicago, and I think we're going to drive because flying is really expensive. And if we drive, we can kind of go at our leisure, we can take our time, and it'll be better. It'll just be better. And financially, it's going to save us like almost $2,000, which is great. So, um, we will drive up, and then on May 8th, that is when I have an appointment for a vein check. They're going to check my veins and make sure that my veins are okay for, the procedure or whatever. And then on Wednesday, the 9th, I will be admitted into the hospital for 1 day. While I'm in the hospital, they're going to give me 1 round of cyclophosphamide, which is the chemotherapy. And they'll give me lots of other drugs. They're going to keep, saline flush, trying to keep the bladder from getting inflamed or getting any bladder infections or anything like that. And then after I finish my 1 round of chemo, I will be discharged to the hotel. And 5 days after that, and I have to stay in Chicago because I have to be within an hour of the hospital in case anything happens. Um, I have to check my temperature twice a day. If my temperature goes above 100.4 degrees, I have to go to the emergency room. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to the emergency room. Which doesn't sound like a very intense fever, but they don't play with the fever, so you gotta go. And then about 5 days after my first day of chemo, I'll begin giving myself injections called Neupogen shots. And the Neupogen injections are basically designed to stimulate the bone marrow to release the stem cells into my bloodstream. So after about 5 days, I'll start taking those Neupogen injections until the 19th, and on May 19th is my harvest day. So I'll still be taking antibacterials, antifungals, antivirals, trying to protect myself because I'm going to be basically crushing my immune system. But not entirely, not for mobilization. And then once I go back on the 19th, they're going to put a vascular catheter in my neck, which is basically a neck IV, and it goes in my neck and basically goes to my heart. And then they're going to hook me up to this big machine called an apheresis machine that will suck the blood out of my neck into this big giant machine that looks like a 1960s computer, and then suck out the stem cells and then put the whatever's left back into my neck. So I get to keep my blood. Cool. And then that's the harvest. Now, I may have to come back on the next day, on the 20th, to collect more stem cells if they didn't get enough. But that's the mobilization phase. That's just the phase where they get my stem cells and we go from there. So that's what's coming up next. That's what's coming up next. And then the transplant phase, I'll do a separate video and update you guys on the transplant phase. But I'll come home for about a week. That's when my hair falls out. All of this beautiful face that I have here, whoosh, gone. And then after about a week or so, I will come back to Chicago on the 31st. The 31st of May, they'll pull me in. They're going to insert a PICC line, which is basically like an IV that goes into my arm, and then it like eventually makes its way to my heart too. But that is a 3-lumen port so that they can give me the chemotherapy, they can give me the blood products if I need them, they can give me the medications, they can do the blood draws. Like, I'll just have one port and there it is. Like, we don't have to get stuck a million times. I'm literally only going to get poked 3 times on the next 2 phases, which is kind of cool. So, but then for the transplant phase, I'll be admitted into the hospital on June 1st. And then on June 1st, I will get, that's day -6. And so each of these days are numbered up to the day of the stem cell reinfusion and then every day post. So day -6 is my first round of chemo, and then the next day I get another round of chemo, and then my next day I get another round of chemo, and then the next day I get another round of chemo, okay, which is crazy. And then on the 5th day, day -2, I'll get a round of RATG, which I think is an antibody, like is some kind of antibiotic fluid. They're going to give me that, and then on day -1, I get to rest. I get to rest and just let all that chemo do its thing. Let it ablate my immune system. Because the point is we want to knock down my faulty immune system and rebuild it back up with the new stem cells. So then on day 0, that's my stem cell birthday. That's when I get the stem cells that we previously collected. I get those back, and I can, wait for my immune system to come back online. They say that days +1 and days +2 are the hardest, but then things start to turn around. After about 10 days post, my immune system should be back online, and then I can be discharged from the hospital with no evidence of multiple sclerosis still in my life. Hashtag beat MS. Hashtag I'm so over this. So yes, it's exciting. And people ask me, like, are you excited? Are you excited? Like, yeah, I'm excited. And they're like, you don't sound very excited. And I'm like, okay, well, it's like this. Okay, climbing Mount Everest is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not everybody gets a chance to climb Mount Everest. But, like, when you get a chance to do that, it's like, cool, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. Like, how cool is that? I'm going to be such a great person because of this. But it's Mount Everest, yo. Like, that's a big mountain. You got to, like, climb all the way to the top. And I'm like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm excited. Yes, this is going to be, like, huge. This is going to be the first time that anything has really been done for my MS that will stop it, that will, give me any amount of time of remission. I don't think I've ever, in 12 years, I don't think I've ever truly had a clean MRI, ever. So this is kind of exciting. I met with my regular neurologist yesterday, and I took a lot of my stuff, to just kind of inform him, like, what was going on. Last I talked to him, I was talking about this stem cell, thing. And then now I talk to him while I've already had an evaluation. I've already been accepted. I've already had a round of steroids trying to stop the current relapse. I've already been back for pre-testing, like, yada, yada, yada. So the next time I see him in July, I will have already finished this procedure. So that's kind of my update right now. There will be lots of updates in the future. There's going to be so many updates. And while I'm actually in Chicago, I'm going to make a video update every single day. Every single day. I want you guys to be able to see what this is about, what I'm going through, what's going on. And any donations that you guys can make are always accepted. Always, always, always accepted. There's no donation too small. Mwah. But anyway, so that's my update for today, for now. I don't know when we're going to get another update, but I'm trying to keep these videos less than 10 minutes because I know not everybody has all day, and I try to talk fast. But anyway, I really appreciate all of the love and the support. Here's just the status update of what's going on. Love and light to all you beautiful people, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.